Thank you for tuning in. It's Talk PR with Betty Abang, and I'm your host, Betty Abang, obviously. Yay! Very first episode. Oh my god. Yes, it's PR. It's PR. It's also fun. It's also entertainment. So it's a mix of everything, right? Let's not try to be too uptight. Yeah. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about what PR is and what PR isn't. Now, why am I starting with this? See, there's a whole lot of confusion and misconception about PR. You really can't blame anybody. I'm a PR professional, and even explaining or telling people what I do, it's difficult to tell someone what you do in one sentence, right? Public relations, but no, I'm not about to define what public relations is. No, I'm just going to try and give everyone an idea of what PR is, so that if you're briefing your agency, or you have certain objectives, you know that, okay, PR will help me achieve this versus advertising will help me achieve this. Yes, I know that in recent times we talk about integrated marketing communications, which is beautiful, and then with social media right now, there's a whole lot of convergence. Yes, but you know, each of these separate arms, or do I say separate functions or disciplines, have the role that they play. So now, what is PR? All right, so like I said, I'm not defining, I'm just helping you to understand the functions of PR. So PR is perception management, PR is reputation management, PR is maintaining good relationships and building goodwill, right? PR has to do with the overall image or what people think about you, your brand as a person, or your business. All right, now that we've tried to understand what PR is, what is marketing, right? So now you have marketing, you have advertising. Now I'm not a marketing expert, neither am I an advertising expert, but advertising is just promoting your goods. So now the same principles do not work. So if you're thinking of advertising and then you're going to a PR professional to help you push your goods and product, you probably will not get the desired result, because that is not the function of PR, right? So PR isn't marketing. So if you're looking to drive sales, if you're looking to increase, whatever it is. So from what I've defined, it is very clear to see that PR deals with the intangibles, right? So for instance, how do you manage perception? And sometimes you really cannot tie. So now, if as a business owner you're looking to, oh, let me marry what my PR company is doing versus how much profit is coming in, it will be difficult, because how do you determine that, okay, a change in perception or this reputation that I now have translated into sales? Yeah, now, so you see the challenge with that. Okay, so this is just to help everyone, both on the agency side and you as a business owner, know what PR does. But now, what is the benefit or advantage of PR? All right, now, if PR is so intangible and I can't measure it, the truth of it is you have to consciously take care of PR, because PR will ultimately affect sales. Now, what does that mean? Now, think for a moment, one company that you never buy from, but you've never interacted with directly. What happened? You probably heard a bad review, right? Yeah. So that's PR for you. Oh, PR, by the way, is public relations. So in this context, in our context, PR is public relations. Now, it's basically ensuring that all of your publics, you maintain very good relationships with all of your publics. Now, the word publics in PR is very crucial, because a lot of times people overlook it. You know, people just, half the time, people just focus on customers, all right? But you forget that you have other key stakeholders. In some instances, not in some instances, in every instance, you have your staff, or you have your suppliers, or you have your partners. You need to ensure that those relationships are well managed. But a lot of times people sit down to start a business or run a business, they don't tend to take all those type of things into consideration. You have your staff, you have the community where you do business, right? You have, government functionaries. You have all manner of persons. Now, depending on the industry that you're in, you have different types of key stakeholders. Now, it is the role of public relations. Your public relations function is to ensure that all of those publics understand you at every point in time. And then half the time you also align with each other's goals, desires, purposes. A lot of times friction happens because there's no understanding. Yeah, I dare say that half the wars that are fought, half the misunderstanding, half the conflicts that we experience is as a result of someone not understanding the other person's intention or motivation or whatever, right? Or sometimes a misunderstanding. Yeah. So all of those things are areas that public relations addresses. So right now, if you want to engage a PR professional, you need to think to yourself, what am I trying to do? So half the time, when you require PR is when you're looking to create a positioning in the minds of your target audience, right? You want them to think about you a certain way. And then remember, a lot of times I see people do this, you're trying to package. PR is not packaging. Praise the Lord. At the end of the day, if you're not your authentic self, it will show. You cannot just package your way, you're badly behaved or you treat customers bad and then you want to package your way out of that. No. All right. So now PR is just basically like, now who said it? My lecturers in class were very disappointed, right? It's simply truth well told. Or actually a slogan of one of the advertising agencies. That's actually it. So this is the truth, but somebody's just helping you communicate it properly. So PR has to do with things like, you're trying to gain credibility, all right? Things you're trying to make people understand you, understand your business, see the value that you bring to the table. So PR is not covering for bad behavior. So let's just PR our way out of it. I hear people say that a lot. Please, if you do so, stop it. PR is not a tool that you use to fake your way and deceive people. No, that's not PR. All right, it's public relations, maintaining good relationships with everybody that matters to your success. And as it applies to business, it also applies to individuals. Yeah, I hope I've learned something today. So right now I'm going to quickly go into the question segment. So I have one question today from Enyi Bloom. And Enyi Bloom is asking, how does a brand new business create a large social media following while avoiding advertising? Now, I particularly love this question because a lot of times when people have new products, they think about advertising. But tell you what, you should actually lead with PR. Why? Because people buy from who they trust. Except in very rare instances, would you just see something, somebody, you see an advertising and then you go and try it out. Half the time, you have someone actually refer. A lot more sales are made through referrals, or someone tells you, I tried that thing, it was good, and then you go buy it. So actually, you should lead with PR. So now, to answer the question, how do you grow a large social media following? Now, that's social media. So I think later in the course of this show, I'm going to bring the social media experts who's going to be teaching you how to grow a large following, right, without advertising. But it still boils down to what I say. One, you have to be your authentic self. Be your authentic self. Two, you have to be selling value. You have to be selling value. I was reading a book on marketing, and it says marketing, the goal of marketing is to make sales superfluous. Now, what does that mean? It means that the product is so good. It's so good that people cannot but buy it, right? Now, what's that thing that we absolutely cannot do without? Well, what really comes to mind are essentials like airtime, right now. So, so whatever it is that you're offering to people, or whatever it is that you're preaching or advocating, you need to have value. Then how to begin to build trust. And then another thing you want to do is actually partner with credible people. A lot of times, third-party endorsements go a long way, right? And then usually when I was telling people, if you want to introduce something to the market, let the key stakeholders in your industry or your target audience, those whose opinion matter a lot to your target audience, you should actually engage them and get them to buy into the product that you have. Sometimes, if they like the product well enough, they would help you with free publicity. And sometimes you might have to pay them because, that's what they do, right? To put the word out. But a good way to create, if you notice, I'm trying to avoid having to speak to growing your social media following because that's not my area of expertise. But what I can tell you from a public relations perspective is one, to offer value, two, to communicate that value clearly. You see, I see a lot of time people are saying, oh, this XYZ would XYZ is the best cleaner or whatever in the world. I don't care. Nobody cares. What you should be telling me is this thing will contribute this value, it will solve this problem, it will do XYZ. Have you been having trouble doing so and so? This stuff will help you do this. So people want solutions to their problems. They don't care about how fantastic or great your product is, right? So that's it. So Any Bloom, I hope I have answered your question, but eventually you would have to do advertising. And then another thing that you should get right is, getting your target audience down to the T, right? Like they tell you in marketing, you can't sell to everybody. So find that niche, find who you want to sell to. And it matters that you do, because that will determine how you talk, what you say, when you say what you say, even the platforms, even the type of partnerships that you're going to build to get the word out, right? So that's it. If you're looking for specifics, you have to send me a proper brief. And of course, this show is not where I'm going to be taking full briefs and giving you answers to your briefs. Nah, not gonna happen. You're going to have to pay consultation fees. But I hope that's clear. If you have any follow-up question, that's fine. Please feel free to share it. And with that, we have come to the end of Talk PR with Betty Abang. I hope you learned something. I hope it was of value to you. And as the show goes on, we have so many topics lined up. I'm telling you, so many topics. One of which is how do I have a media interview? So you're going on radio, you're going on TV, right? You have an interview with a print newspaper. How do I compose myself? How do I answer questions? How do I ensure that I've had these people to come and tell me this thing that I don't like to grant media interviews, so I beg, they'll go and quote you out of context. How do you avoid all of those type of scenarios? Yes, we're going to discuss that. Not only that, we're going to also, now a lot of you, how do you communicate the value of your business, what you do? How do you communicate it effectively? Yes, we're going to have that. On and on and on and on and on like that. We're going to have such episodes. Okay, I hope you have had as much fun as I have. All right, thank you for tuning in. See you again next week, Thursday. It's Talk PR, and I remain your host, Betty Abang. Talk PR with Betty Abang.